The quality of tact. Basically, tact is, in my opinion, being able to influence people through your opinion verbally. And I think back to my father telling me years ago when I was a kid about the use of profanity and how using profanity basically shows your ignorance and lack of ability to speak the English language correctly. And I think as far as tact goes, he used to tell me that if you use profanity, you've basically just become emotionally involved and you're going to lose. So I've never really openly used profanity. There's a lot of colloquialisms within the Marine Corps, but I've never really used profanity, and that allows me to be tactful. When I think about persuading someone senior to me to come around to my way of thinking, that takes a lot of tact. And I found over the years that I was quite good at it. As a matter of fact, when I was stationed at the Naval Academy, they started the enlisted leadership program, and I was the first Marine Sergeant Major to be assigned there at the end of the Gulf War. And when I got there, I had already spent 4.5 years at the Virginia Military Institute as the Assistant Marine Officer Instructor, very successfully. And so when I got to the Naval Academy, I knew what my job was. And as I saw what they were doing, the enlisted leadership program was founded with, they had 6 battalions at the Naval Academy at the time. And what they did was they brought in 6 pay grade E9, 4 Navy Master Chiefs and 2 Marine Sergeant Majors. Well, I was the first Sergeant Major to get there. And having spent 4.5 years at VMI, I knew what my job was. So after I'd been there a little while, I realized that these midshipmen, when they're commissioned, they're not going to be working with Sergeant Majors and Master Chiefs. They're going to be working with first-class petty officers, staff sergeants, maybe a gunny or a chief. And I thought what they need are 26 of that pay grade, 1 per company. So I went to the Commandant of Midshipmen with that idea in mind. And I said to him my idea, and of course he looked at me like, what do you know? And so it, kind of fell on deaf ears. A little while later, I'm at the superintendent's garden party. I was unaccompanied at the time. I had just come back from the Gulf War, and I wasn't going to take my kids out of high school and move them to Annapolis, Maryland. So I'm at the superintendent's garden party after the Friday afternoon parade, and I'm standing there woofing down these jumbo shrimp, and the superintendent comes in. And of course I went to attention, "Afternoon, Admiral." And he sees me and comes over, "Afternoon, Sergeant Major." And I swatted him on the shoulder. And I said, "Great idea you had about changing the enlisted leadership program." And I went on and on and on. Made them think it was their idea. And guess what? It happened. So I run into Marine officers all the time. And I ask them, "Where did you go to college?" And if they happen to be Naval Academy grads, I will say, "Well, do you know what happened in 1991? And I would tell them the story about how that enlisted person became part of the United States Naval Academy and 1 per company. And that program has worked wonderfully. So, and you'll probably never see that in print because it was their idea, not mine. And that's the tactful way of getting someone that's senior to you, or even an institution, to come around to your way of thinking through tact. And that's probably my favorite story about tact.